Are you considering running for public office? Would you like to volunteer on a campaign, whether it be for a candidate or for an initiative? Would you like to work on a campaign, get up close and personal with a candidate or one of these issues? Would you like to know more about how government works, how it really works? Would you like to be more actively engaged yourself in local or state politics? Welcome to People, Places, and Politics. I'm Patty Milne. My guest today is Richard Burke, who is the Executive Director of the Western Liberty Network. And we're going to talk about an answer to all these questions that I just posed about how you can become more involved, whether it be as a candidate, volunteer, work on a campaign, or just become more politically attuned and active yourself in whatever way you're comfortable. Before we get started, I'd like to share with the audience a little bit about Richard's background. He is himself an elected official. He serves on the Tualatin Valley Water District Board. You've been the president of that board. You've worked in the Oregon House and Senate as senior legislative aide. You've worked on numerous campaigns. You've been a radio talk show host. You've managed campaigns at all levels, and you've helped get a lot of people elected. So welcome to People, Places, and Politics. This conference is the 5th annual. So before we talk about the conference itself, what motivated you to start this conference and to help people learn to be more engaged and more informed about what goes on? And along with that, it occurs to me, when you have done something for 4 years, this is the 5th, you've probably fine-tuned things or changed the focus. And of course, I'd like you also to touch on the title of the conference is Taking the Offensive. So tell us what this conference is all about.
Well, to tell you about the conference, I have to tell you about the organization itself, Western Liberty Network. I used to work for a group called Americans for Prosperity as a grassroots director, and I learned a lot traveling around the state talking to grassroots activists. And one thing that always came up in my mind was a famous quote from Benjamin Franklin. He was asked at the end of the Constitutional Convention in 1787, do we have a monarchy or do we have a republic? And he said, we have a republic if you can keep it. That represents a challenge to each of us as an individual, that this is our republic. We are supposed to be a self-governing society. And if we are to remain a self-governing society, we have to take personal responsibility for governing ourselves. And that is something that I think has been sort of falling away, this sense of civic responsibility, of being involved in civic life. And so what I do with Western Liberty Network is I offer training to grassroots activists on how to take responsibility for their community's governance by running for local nonpartisan office. Water board, school board, park and rec, mosquito control board, cemetery control board, fire districts, that whole bit. This is the level of government that impacts people's day-to-day lives the most. And this is also, it really is. And it's also the venue through which people learn about governance and prepare themselves to serve in higher office if that's actually what they want to do. So Western Liberty Network, which is a nonprofit 501c3 tax-exempt educational foundation, nonpartisan, what we do is we train grassroots activists how to be candidates, how to function once elected or appointed to office, and for those who don't want to be candidates, it's not for everybody, how to manage campaigns, and if they don't want to do that, how to be a good foot soldier, a good campaign volunteer. We focus on these themes during odd years when Oregon has most of its local nonpartisan elections up. And then on the even-numbered years like this one, we focus on generic campaign skills, campaign volunteer, campaign management skills, and in this case, how to be impactful at the Oregon legislature, because we have the short session coming up.
Very important, very important.
So all of these things we kind of fold in to an annual event that kicks off the year, that sets a tone, and we want people to take the offensive. Doesn't matter where they're coming from. Make things happen. Don't be reactive. Make things happen. A lot of folks in politics, particularly on the limited government side, who maybe aren't as naturally inclined to run for office, will get active when something happens that they don't like. If you've got big government proponents dominating a board and they pass this tax or this ordinance, the limited government activists are always reacting, trying to stop it. Say, don't do it. Don't pass this ordinance. Don't reject this ordinance. Or they'll try to go to court to overturn it, or they'll do a ballot measure. These are all reactive measures. So I say to limited government activists, be the ones in charge. Be the ones that are proactive and have other folks react to you. And that said, anyone can take the training. If you're a Pacific Green Party person or a Libertarian or a Republican or Democrat, the training is generic. But
and again, I want to have you emphasize that what you do is nonpartisan.
That's right.
That's the invitation to anybody affiliated with any party or no party.
That's right. The Western Liberty Network never takes a position for or against any candidate, bill, or ballot measure. And we don't try to get cute by doing thinly veiled political activity either. Mostly limited government activists come to us because those who support big governments already have an array of various schools and programs to attend. So they don't really need another option. But limited government activists have very limited options, and so we fill that void.
Well, and as you said, there are a variety of campaign schools, but there's a definite focus and an agenda of what issues ought to be highlighted and how to make those issues front and center.
That's right.
So, excuse me, that would be one of your the attributes of what Western Liberty Network does and the difference in it.
Sure, we train for generic skills. I mean, how to testify in front of a board or a committee, how to lobby a public official, how to work with volunteers. These are generic skills that are not partisan, they're not ideological.
Right.
It's just good politics. And those are the kind of things we train for at Western Liberty Network.
Good. You mentioned, or I talked about it as well in my opening comment, candidates, volunteers, people wanting to manage a campaign or simply be more politically active. So as I look at the, I brought with me the agenda for the conference, and it is on January 30th at the Embassy Suite Hotel in Hillsborough. There are I'd break it down, there are like 4 tracks.
That's right.
There are let's see, how many breakout sessions? There are 4 breakout sessions in addition, and we can talk about all the other exciting stuff on the agenda. But there are 4 breakout sessions, and within each session there are 4 topics to choose from. Generally speaking, these would appeal to, there are options for a person wanting to be there potentially as a candidate, or a person wanting to be there just to become a better volunteer or more active testifying in front of a committee. Is that the...
You're right, but I'll explain it a different way.
Okay, so I want you to get this
There are 4
here.
sessions of training throughout the day, and in each session, an attendee can choose between 4 courses, and there are 4 tracks. One is how to be impactful at the legislature.
Right.
Another one is how to campaign effectively and volunteer for the campaigns you like. Another one is how to build your organization. And another one is just general activist skills, like how to lobby and how to testify and do those sorts of things.
Those kinds of,
And those are the courses that we have, and also throughout the day we have 2 professional public speaking coaches who, people can sign up for half-hour slots and get private speech training. What they'll do is they'll give you a famous speech to read in front of a camera, and they'll videotape you. Then you go back and watch it, and they'll, critique you on gestures, eye contact, these kind of things. And it's not gonna make you William Jennings Bryan in one setting, but it'll help tune your skills and call your attention to things. And we also have a program whereby people can learn about parliamentary procedure, how meetings work, and they can take an exam to enter the National Association of
Talk a little bit about that, because, and of course I've been a little bit familiar with this agenda for a little while now, but I'm not familiar with that process of being able to, does a person become certified? You get a certificate? What is it, and what benefit is there to doing that?
Sure. The National Association of Parliamentarians is one of two national groups that register professional parliamentarians. You can make a living at it. You might have an industry convention and you've got factions and nobody trusts anyone, so they hire a professional parliamentarian to run the meeting so that everybody knows it's going to be fair. It's an industry. But it's also a platform to train people on how to participate in meetings. And you don't have to go that far, but it's a great resource. Now, if you want to enter the National Association of Parliamentarians, and I've been a member, you have to pass a test. The test is 100 questions, okay? But you can download a set of 300 questions, and the answers are provided. And the 100 questions on the test are pulled directly from the 300 questions.
So you have a
So if you
heads up.
study the 300 questions and the answers, and you become familiar with them, you can't fail the test. And you'll learn the basics of parliamentary procedure, and all of that can be downloaded along with a basic guide on parliamentary procedure, kind of a simplified guide, from the westernlibertynetwork.org website.
Great.
So people can prepare and take the exam if they want to.
Good. So also there are about 3 different featured speakers. Talk a little bit about who they are and what they might be.
Well, there are 3 speeches, and the lineup is jumbling around a little bit. One of the featured speakers is Anne Marie Gurney, who is a colleague of mine who works for Freedom Foundation. And another featured speaker is Fox News contributor and author Wayne Allen Root. He also incidentally ran for vice president on the Libertarian ticket a number of years ago. I ran his vice presidential campaign, which is how I got to know him. And he's a Republican now, and he does a lot of political work on the side. And the third speaker is a gentleman named John McPhee of Life Benefits Incorporated. And that company is a sponsor of the conference, but what he is doing is going to provide information about how activists who donate so much of their time doing politics, often to the detriment of their family finances, things that they can do to, kind of buttress themselves against those impacts and be able to be an activist, but also keep the family finances from going south because of all the time they're spending on doing activism.
Wow.
So those are the 3 feature speakers. We were also, on the night before, we're going to have Scott Jorgensen, who's going to sort of do a state of the state address.
Good. He's been a guest of mine here too, so I know who he is, and he's
awesome.
He's fun. Very, very fun,
He's
fascinating to listen to. Yes.
And also Dennis Lithicum is going to be there. He's a prominent activist, ran for Congress from rural Oregon. And so I've still got to jostle around how I'm going to fit all that in. But it's
Well, you have some debates lined up here as well, including a debate between some gubernatorial candidates. Is
That's
that
right.
correct? Yes.
That's right. I don't think this has ever been done before. I could be wrong, but we have 3 debates for statewide office at the same event. In the morning, we've got a candidate debate for those running for United States Senate. At lunchtime, when there's a hot lunch, with a conference packet, we have a debate for Secretary of State. And in the afternoon, we've got a debate for Oregon governor, and all of the major Republican candidates have confirmed.
Wow.
And,
What about
haven't been able to get any Democrats. They're being invited, and I almost got one of them, but they apparently don't think it's in their interest to come. That's okay, but we're going to have a couple of other candidates from other parties there too.
Great. What else? What else happens at this conference? What are some of the benefits for people? Is there follow-up because you do other trainings as well? What can people who've never attended something like this or any Western Liberty Network events, what can they
Well, the first thing
look forward to?
the first thing that they can look forward to is fun, and literally that's the first thing.
Literally.
The night before the conference, we always have a reception with hot appetizers, and we've got live jazz music. A fellow named Dylan Sundstrom plays bass, and he always brings somebody that brings a jazz guitar, and you know, some folks have a drink and eat appetizers, and it's a great mixer. It's a party. We start with a party.
Start with a party.
Start with a party. So the party's fun, and this is great because it gives people a chance to renew relationships, meet new people, and it breaks the ice so that the following morning, you know, they are, hi, how you doing? You know, they don't have to break the ice throughout the day. And from the westernlibertynetwork.org website, you can get lodging. We have a reduced rate at the Embassy Suites, and the rooms are sweet. They're really nice.
Good.
And so they come to the party, they stay overnight. It's not required to stay overnight, but they can. And then the following morning, sign in between 8 and 8:30. 8:30, we start up, and we go right into speeches, debates, session, lunchtime, you know, debate, you know, feature speaker, debate, session. Then we do it one more time, and it's fast moving, it's quick paced, but it's not one of those events where folks go to simply be entertained, thinking they're being trained, but when they leave, they don't really have practical knowledge. They will be entertained and they will have fun, but when they walk out, they're going to be fired up, they're going to be inspired, and they will have useful tools and information to take with them as they enter the 2016 political cycle.
Good.
And then after the conference, Western Liberty Network, the network part of us, is we affiliate with various groups around the state. We have 19 affiliates in Oregon, 4 in Washington. And we follow up with supplemental training, whatever they might need. And we do other things through the year. We're going to be developing technological training venues and you know, more printed materials. And we're just growing and growing. And my big hope next year is to be able to hire an assistant. I'm doing it all.
Yeah.
The
And
taxes, the bookkeeping,
yeah.
the curriculum development, the training, the event planning. I need help.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my goals for next year.
Good, good. And you're expecting people from all across the state, and then you have these affiliates in Washington State. So people may be coming from Washington as well?
Some will come from Washington. I know that Ken Morse, he is the head of the Olympia Tea Party. He is bringing in a contingent of people. And
Good.
Walla Walla area, there's a gentleman there that runs a group, and they always send a group of people.
Good.
And I think they actually got our Affiliate of the Year award last year. We give out some awards during lunchtime.
Speaking, I wanted you to be sure to touch on that as well, that you'll be doing some award. What are these awards? And what does what's the recognition?
Well,
well, you may not want to announce who, but what are you recognizing?
we recognize a couple of different traits. One thing that we do is we recognize somebody who has taken WLN training and then gotten elected to office and then accomplished something while in office. Glenn Miller of the Hillsborough School Board, for example, was one of the people that has gotten this award over time.
Previously.
Yeah. And we also have an award for Outstanding Affiliate. And this is an affiliate organization that has done something as an organization to promote liberty where they are. And one of the past recipients of that has been the Clackamas County AFP group.
Good.
There are just Activist of the Year. There are a lot of activists out there that just work and work and work, and a lot of times it's thankless work, and so we try to thank them. And Bob Soden down at Cottage Grove, he has been a past recipient of the award. So we give out some things to sort of acknowledge excellence in organization, people who have taken responsibility for self-governance and then done a good job with it.
Done a good job. Great. Anything else about the event that we haven't touched on that you'd like to share?
Well, everybody can download the agenda, this very document that you have. They can download this agenda at the westernlibertynetwork.org website, and they can also download everything else that will help them prepare for the conference. There's a big, fat, red button that says register now.
Yes.
And if you click on that, you can buy the package that includes lunch and all the training sessions. And there's a package that's only for the debates. And if you do want to get lodging, you can get lodging at a discounted rate from that site. And if you can't attend but want to support the conference, or even if you want to support it in other ways, there's a big fat red buy a sponsorship button on there. You can click on that, and there are a number of sponsorships that we have available. If I can get enough sponsorships, I'd like to be able to admit students and veterans free of charge. So at this point, I'm just trying to make the hotel commitment. But it's going to be a great conference, and people are going to have a wonderful time. They're going to learn a lot. They're going to see a lot, and when they leave, they're going to be fired up.
Good, good. Yes, I'm getting excited about it myself, and maybe I should, the disclaimer here, I am going to be participating, so I'm very, very excited about it and really happy to participate, and I'm going to be talking about how to lobby public officials.
That's right.
Because I understand that topic very well.
That's right, and all of the trainers are professionals and experts in the subject upon which they're training. And you know, I've seen you train before, and you are excellent. And
thank you.
And you know, all of the trainers are going to do a wonderful job. This event gets better and better every year.
It really, like I say, I've known you a long time. Just for the sake of the audience, I've not been to, other than previously participating in one you had, that was a few months ago already. My goodness, time flies.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about this myself.
Well, 2 years ago, in 2014, we held a U.S. Senate debate. Lars Larson moderated, and we had 165 people come. And that was a lesson to me that, hey, people like debates.
Yes.
And so this year, with 3 debates, I'm hoping to break 200 attendees.
So can you share who the moderators might be for those debates, or how that'll be set up?
A lot of people, several people have been asked. One that has confirmed is Jane Carroll, who's a talk show host at KUIK Radio in Hillsborough. And also, we've asked people from different television news organizations to moderate. The debate, there's the professional speech coach I was telling you about, Lee Snelling. He's going to be assisting in the formatting, and is also going to be sort of making sure the trains run on time while the event is going on. Audience members will be able to submit questions.
Oh, that's great. Yes,
okay, the questions will come from the audience members, and they'll go into a fish bowl, and they'll be screened, you know, so make sure there aren't any joke questions or anything like that. Or
something inappropriate.
That's right. And Lee Snelling will do that, and then feed the moderator the questions, and there'll be, you know, a timekeeper, and it runs really well. Last time it was Monica Webby, Jason Conger, Mark Callahan, and Joe Ray Perkins. This year it's going to be, it looks like Faye Stewart and Dan Lashaber and Mark Callahan and Sam Carpenter. It looks like he's going to run. So
to clarify, these are candidates who will be participating in the debates. Versus the group of folks you mentioned previously.
That's right.
Monica Webby, she participated in the debates last.
That's correct. That's correct.
Cycle.
As a candidate.
So these are some of the candidates who are running in 2016.
That's correct.
Who will be there. And
Bud Clark has confirmed. Bob Niemeyer has confirmed for Secretary of State. Dennis Richardson and Sid Letkin have both confirmed.
Great.
And it looks like we'll probably have at least one candidate from the Independent Party there and one candidate from the Libertarian Party there.
Good, good, very good. We have just a little time left. Do you want to talk at all about, I'm again disclosed, I'll be participating. Some of the other individuals who will be doing some of these sessions might pique somebody's interest.
Well, let me borrow this here because I know I'll forget somebody. Rebecca Tweed is a political consultant. Very, very professional. She's going to be there. Reagan Knope, who is a political consultant now. He works for a firm, I think, not far from here. And he's the son of Senator Tim Knope. Jacob Daniels, he's a prominent conservative political guy in Southern Oregon. Of course, you're going to be there. And John McPhee is going to be doing some training, and Bryce Kennedy is going to be there. He is active up in Washington County.
Good.
He's going to be doing a training. But you're going to learn about lots of different things, about how polls work, how polling works, how to work in the field if you're actually working for a candidate. Lots of things that are just going to be really exciting for 2016. And it needs to be fun. People will not sustain a level of effort in civic life unless it's fun.
And it won't be stuffy, because although you are dressed in a suit, a tie, Richard loves Hawaiian shirts.
Come as you are. I love Hawaiian shirts. That's right. Come as you are. This is not a dress-up event. This is a come and enjoy yourself. I mean, I'll be in a suit, but
you're not going to wear a Hawaiian shirt?
I'm not going to wear a Hawaiian shirt this time, but that was really something. Patty participated in a training before for public officials on how to function once you get elected or appointed to office. And after that, I did a series of other ones out in Eastern Oregon and up in Tacoma, Washington. And they've all been recorded, either by audio or, in the case of Tacoma, by video. And so we're in the process of editing them now in a form that can be distributed electronically.
Good.
Been partnering with Freedom Foundation on a specific project to come up with a list of local elected officials in the state of Oregon. And so we're going to be expanding on that list for contact information, and then make this training available.
Oh, that's great. So, and again, give the, before we sign off here, contact information to attend this conference or sponsor it, and also to get information. How do people find you?
WesternLibertyNetwork.org. That's it. If they go to the web and they go WesternLibertyNetwork.org, they'll be able to send an email to me if they have questions. They will be able to get all the information, download all the materials. They'll be able to register. They'll be able to sponsor. It's one stop for anyone who wants to know anything about what we're doing. Excuse me. You can go to the affiliate page and see who our affiliates are. You can go to the organization page and see where we're getting established in other states. There's a lot going on, and it's a lot of fun, and people are more than welcome to be a part of it.
Good, great. So, Richard Burke, Executive Director, Western Liberty Network, and this conference is January 30th, 2016, at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Hillsborough. So go to that website, and thank you, Richard, for coming and talking about this exciting opportunity for people to learn more and maybe get more actively engaged.
Well, thank you, Patty. I look forward to
You're
seeing you.
very welcome. You're very welcome.